can work through all your beliefs to try not to trigger certain thoughts and feelings, and that can be efficacious, but not nearly as efficacious as simply mastering your energy, connecting your breath to energy, using the power of breath to pull all that lower energy up in a steady fountain into the heart. When you do that, your thoughts naturally correct themselves. When you're depressed, when you're sad, when you have anxiety, every single thought that you have is going to be relative to that. Because, like I said, we have two focal points, one in the mentality, which is both the audible and the visual, and one in the emotional. So all of your thoughts, everything that comes to your mind is going to be relative to which one of these body chakras that you're currently tuned to. So when you've mastered the heart, when you've gained the magnet, the ferocity of the love in the heart, which is like a giant magnet that pulls all things inward and then releases, like the toroidal field of the heart with every beat. Well, when your spirit can be one with that toroidal field, then all your lower energy naturally gets sucked up. So this is the other part of alignment that we're seeking, is to be heart-based, because when you're here, there's no fear. There's no fear here. Like think about it. We don't feel fear here. We feel it down here. We don't feel anxiety up here. We feel it down here. It's always from the adrenal glands being ran improperly. And there's a lot to do with that. The thoughts of our modern culture, the mental loops that we're locked in are a part of it. So is our posture. We're bent over, hunched over all day, every day, sitting in chairs and not necessarily, upright and straight. Our spines get hunched. We're typing on a keyboard, we're tapping in our phones, we're driving the car with the steering wheel. Everything we do is bending our spine forwards, 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 creating this crimp right here that prevents the energy from moving forward. So that's the energetic alignment. And like I said, behind the scenes, the entire time I'm talking, my extrasensory perception is wide open, and in what we call in this higher learning community, a fifth dimensional perception. And a part of that fifth dimensional perception is that everything external to you is felt internally. So whenever I'm talking to a group, and this includes those of you who will be watching this recording in the future, time is simply a construct in spirit. In truth, all time is simultaneous. Everything's a part of this great now. So because my extrasensory is permanently anchored in a fifth dimensional state, I always feel that which is external to me on the inside. So as you guys are coming into this meeting, be it from the future gateway or from the now portal, I feel the group energy shift and change. It's like you take two lighters or two candles, two flames, and you put them together. They become one flame of a much greater size. This is what collective consciousness is like. And whenever we're in any type of group setting whatsoever, even if it's online, even if it's digital, even if it's over the phone, when you call your mother up to have a conversation with her, her flame joins with yours. That's what makes the conversation possible. Space and time, it's said that they're an illusion, but I don't like that word. They're a construct, and a gorgeous construct. Without space and time, there would just be energy, the great source energy field, which is an omnipresent energy that's inside and outside of the body, which is actually anchored inside of your heart. And it's waveform energy, like a standing wave going outward, getting progressively lighter the further out you go, and it gets denser the more inward you go. This is the great truth, the energy, the waveform energy. This is source. This is God. This is the greater truth. All worlds, all universes, all solar systems, all galaxies, all dimensions, everything that we experience in any reality, in any dimension, is an interpretation of these vibrations. And that takes place through a matrix, which is another word for a tree. But we'll get into that in a second. So the other half of the alignment is the mentality. So what do we believe in? Well, we're shifting through our direct experience, through our practices of meditation and energy mastery, from a third dimensional state of consciousness to a fifth dimensional state. And what this means, I've already stated one of the things, that's the everything that's external to the self is felt inside of the self. Another truth is that we don't come from the past, we come from now. Both the past and the future come from this great now. And we're always seeking to be more now. We all hear this word. Every master talks about it from the times of old to the modern times, the power of now, the power of now. Well, what is this? What does this mean? Well, the past and the future, time is a construct, just like space. It's an interpretation of frequency. And this is what separates us here. We're in a reality of separation and survival. It's a recipe for hell incarnate, basically. So in this reality, we are born separated from it, which is not the natural spiritual state. Anybody who's been out of their body knows that they're interconnected with all things. When you're in an out of body experience, you can simply set your hand on a tree and you slip right inside of it and you become the tree and you're yourself and the tree at the same time. As you fly your astral form through the air, you can feel yourself moving through the particles of air that you're one with. The natural spiritual state is oneness and interconnectivity, a sacred interconnectivity with all things that automatically ends up in balance. Because if everything is interconnected, there's quite naturally no war, no struggle, no shame, no blame. There's nothing but brothers and sisters helping each other out because it's wise, not because it's moral, because it's wise. Because this entire universe is a giant living, breathing being that we are all both a part of and the whole thing at the same time. To be in a collective consciousness is to be a collective consciousness. And I think this is not often understood, but it sure as shit is once your experience starts to become fifth dimensional. You realize that to be part of a collective consciousness is to be a collective consciousness. So not only are we all one and connected, but every one holds the entire whole within their being from the higher state of consciousness. So this is the mentality of alignment. We realign ourselves to this greater fifth dimensional truth with which we experience through our practices of energy mastery. But then we go about our work week, we get involved in our family dramas and our interpersonal situations. And it's very easy to become very 3D again, which is to be in a reality of separation and survival. So we're born separated from everything. And this is because of the sensory information that's available here, which once again is provided by a matrix, which is another term for a tree. And this is why we chose the term tree of life. This is what the Garden of Eden story actually is. I can't claim to know this for an absolute fact because I wasn't there when whoever wrote the story. Um, but I just know this deep in my heart. It's an allegory. It's not a linear story. It's not to be translated third dimensionally. It's about the original spirits of male and female that were created by God and placed in a garden. Once again, a tree is another word for a matrix. So how this works is that the energy is the truth. The omniversal energy is the greater truth. Reality is real. The world is real. You're undeniably standing on ground. The sun is undeniably shining on you. You're undeniably breathing air. These things are true.